Tumanikele amago bodela Koko dama angase kakoninke Tumanikele amago bodela Koko dama Kobena tumale Now is the needed time. 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 We're living in the needed time. Kele miri janyara bekita ke kufara nyanka tumani kele pedo tumani kele amago bodela kadoke toye even if you don't stay long, now if you don't stay long, I'm praying, won't you come by here? Even if you don't stay long, I'm praying, won't you come by here? Tumanikele amago bodila Koko doma angase kadoke doye Tumanikele amago bodila Kiko doma Gobena tumane
Good evening, dear ones. I'm delighted to be with you this evening, and I hope that you are all well and have had a beautiful day. It's raining outside, which I'm very happy for, so I'm glad for that. This evening we'll be doing a guided meditation and a walking meditation, and we will be talking about the third mindfulness training and the ARISE third contemplation. And before that, I would like to bring us together and as we begin our program this evening. Noble community, we gather here together with one another, with all humanity, and with all life on earth. We gather here together to deepen our solidity and renew our freshness. Through mindful sitting, walking, singing, breathing, speaking, and listening. We affirm the capacity within ourselves and all persons of every race, gender, orientation, ability, and tradition to realize peace in ourselves and peace in the world. David Lazinski is going to provide us with our guided meditation and our walking meditation this evening. So I'm grateful to him for his willingness to do this, and welcome, David. Thank you. Unmute yourself, Dave, please.
Well, thank you, Lynn. Tonight we're going to do a Metta meditation, which is a meditation of loving kindness. Given all, the anxiety and stress in the world and, our feelings one way or another about politics and all the division and polarization in the world, I thought this might be a good thing to do for tonight. So we can begin by calming and steadying yourself to the best of your ability. You might want to gently and lightly place a hand on your heart or your cheek or another part of your body in any way that promotes a feeling of inner safety and that helps to connect you to your courage and compassion. Then you can begin the practice. The first part of the practice, we express goodwill toward ourselves. Using these words or others, because you can adapt this however you like, you begin with these wishes of goodwill to yourself. May I be safe and protected from physical and mental harm. May I be strong and healthy and enjoy well-being. May I be peaceful and truly happy. May I live my life with more joy and ease. Now extend those good wishes to those whom you like, such as your family, your mentors, good friends, and others. May you be safe and protected from physical and mental harm. May you be strong and healthy. May you be peaceful and happy. May you live with joy and ease. Now we extend our goodwill toward neutral beings, people and other living beings we neither like nor dislike. It's always useful to check in. Do you actually have neutral beings in your life? We can say, though you are a neutral being to me, meaning I do not engage with you that much, I know you are like me in that you have joys, sorrows, and pain in your life. Therefore, I wish you well. May you live your life with more joy and ease. Now, express your goodwill to the extent you can towards someone who has caused you some slight injury. Then, to the extent possible, extend these good wishes toward people who have caused you more pain, or to institutions and organizations that have caused you, your family, or your community pain and suffering. We say, may you be at peace. May your heart remain open. May you awaken to the light of your own true nature. May you be healed and be a source of healing for others. Finally, you extend metta to all living beings in the universe. You might visualize yourself as a kind of lighthouse with goodwill and loving kindness streaming out from your heart and body in every direction, including up and down. We want to be 360 degrees of metta. We say, May all beings be safe and protected from harm. May each and every being, without exception, be strong and healthy. May all living beings be peaceful and know true happiness. May each and every living being, without exception, live their lives with more joy and ease. And together, may we complete the great journey of awakening. I have a request. My wife had surgery this week, and I think I have to take her to the hospital now. So if someone could do the walking meditation, I'd appreciate it, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. I'm sorry for your interruption.
Sorry.
Please carry us with you as you walk to the hospital.
Thank
Know that
you.
we're with you all. Yeah.
Let us continue with our meditation for all beings, that they may be strong and healthy, may be peaceful and know true happiness, and live their lives with joy and ease. Gently bringing yourself back to the room, feeling your seat, perhaps beginning to stretch, move your fingers, toes, move your lips, squeeze your eyes gently, and opening your eyes, coming back to the consciousness, back to your room. Take a drink of water and refreshment, feeling the refreshment of that. And let's prepare ourselves for the walking meditation. As we know, we will have a series of 5 bells. And the first bell will be to ask us to stand. The second bell will be to stand behind our chairs and bow to the group, recognizing the sacred quality of each of us, sacred character. And then the third bell will be to turn to the left and begin our walk. And remember that walking is easy and effortless and aimless. So take this opportunity to feel your feet on the floor, moving from heel to toe, perhaps saying yes and on the inhale, and thank you on the exhale. Or you can say, I'm home, I have arrived, on the inhale and the exhale. And generally, take it slow, be easy. So, I don't have a distinguishing bell sound, so I'm going to use my, I do have a small bell here. So, this is a cowbell from India, or a sheep bell. So, We begin our Dharma share, my Dharma offering, actually. I wanted to just allow as to how last week I was thrilled to have this awareness of the affinity groups that developed and how they were initiated and how it came to pass. So let me just read here. I'm going to read this top part, and then Deborah Connor has agreed to read the Plum Village third mindfulness training, and Jane will then read the ARISE Contemplation of the third mindfulness training, Cherishment as True Love. So let me begin with the Contemplations on the 5 mindfulness trainings is a commentary on the original 5 mindfulness trainings and was developed for all practitioners. They were developed from the suffering and joy of BIPOC people, Black, Indigenous people of color, to practice with alongside the original 5 mindfulness trainings. One can recite the original 5 mindfulness trainings and then the contemplations on the 5 mindfulness trainings, or any way an individual sees fit. And so Deborah is going to read the third mindfulness training, True Love, from Plum Village. Deborah?
Aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I am committed to cultivating responsibility and learning ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. Knowing that sexual desire is not love, and that sexual activity motivated by craving always harms myself as well as others, I am determined not to engage in sexual relations without mutual consent, true love, and a deep long-term commitment. I resolve to find spiritual support for the integrity of my relationships from family members, friends, and Sangha with whom there is support and trust. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse and to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. Seeing that body and mind are interrelated, I am committed to learn appropriate ways to take care of my sexual energy and to cultivate the 4 basic elements of true love: loving kindness, compassion, joy, and inclusiveness for the greater happiness of myself and others. Recognizing the diversity of human experience, I am committed not to discriminate against any form of gender identity or sexual orientation. Practicing true love, we know that we will continue beautifully into the future. Have you had the opportunity to observe, study, and practice this in the past few weeks?
Thank you, Deborah. And Jane will continue with the reading of the ARISE third training. Did I lose my
No, you're
share?
fine. You're fine.
Okay, thank you. Is that little green screen showing there? Ah, there it goes. Okay. Thank you for your patience.
ARISE Contemplation of the third mindfulness training. Cherishment as true love. Aware of the suffering caused by discrimination and oppression, I vow to understand its roots. I will acknowledge and practice to transform seeds of discrimination in myself as well as in my Sangha and the society at large. I vow to recognize the ways in which I have benefited or not benefited explicitly or implicitly from systems and structures that foster discrimination and injustice. I am aware of the legacy of violence, especially unlawful police violence, perpetrated against Black people, Indigenous people, people of color, differently abled people, people of various gender identities and expressions and sexual orientation, and others who are marginalized. I acknowledge the lived experience of all people to deepen my capacity for understanding and for greater compassionate action. I am aware that narrowly constructed, prevalent interpretations of intimate relationships constrain how we cherish each other in our expression of love, leaving many further isolated and alienated. I am committed to looking tenderly at my suffering, knowing that I am not separate from others and that the seeds of suffering contain the seeds of joy. I'm not afraid of bold love that fosters justice and belonging, and tender love that seeks peace and connection. I cherish myself and my suffering without discrimination. I cherish this body and mind as an act of healing for myself and for others. I cherish this breath. I cherish this moment. I cherish the liberation of all beings, guided by the wisdom and solidity of the Sangha. This is my path of true love.
Have we had a chance to practice this in the past few days or weeks? A deep bow to you all for your patience and for your kindness. I'm glad we have an opportunity to continue our conversation. And I want to thank Dave for leading us through our sitting meditation. And I hope that he and Patty are well on their way to the hospital and that things are being taken care of. The thing I wanted to say about the Plum Village third mindfulness training and how I have reacted to both of the trainings and the contemplation to the one training and the contemplation, is that I believe that the Plum Village third mindfulness training, True Love, as set forth by Thai, and the third contemplation, Cherishment as True Love, offered by the ARISE Sangha, are both the practice of Metta, loving kindness. In reflecting on the action implied in the verb to cherish, I came to understand that it requires a special love and care for someone or something. It requires an effort to cultivate and nourish or nurture our friends, family, acquaintances, ourselves, or even our garden, cherish our heirlooms, whatever it is that is worthy of our care and love. The contemplation of what it means to be on the path of expressing and living in the essence of true love has given me valuable insights into my conditioning and my behaviors. My reaction to the Plum Village third mindfulness training has been one of vulnerability. The characterization of sexual interaction as misconduct separated me from the ideal of love that I have found to be true. The attribution of sexual misconduct and desire as the cause of suffering to me was like a slap in the face, because it triggered the ways in which I have felt marginalized and misunderstood. It created a feeling of vulnerability because my sexuality has been a source of shame and humiliation. The recent inclusion and acknowledgement of the diversity of human experience and the commitment to not discriminate against any form of gender identity or sexual orientation has given me hope of changing hearts and minds from the prejudices of social mores. But that didn't come around until 2022. I'm glad it's here. Since then, since it arrived, my contemplation about this training has been more relaxed, and I can appreciate the intention of protecting against domination and abusive behaviors, which has always been my purpose. Making the commitment to take care of my sexual energy so as not to abuse or dominate is practical, and certainly nothing I can quibble with. And the commitment to cultivate the four basic elements of true love, the Metta practice of loving kindness, compassion, joy, and inclusiveness, is worthy of my practice. I found that the third ARISE Contemplation has given me an opportunity to dig deeper into my soul about a more expanded connection with society as a whole. Reflecting on the statements has caused me to uncover how I am or could be responsible for the suffering caused by oppression and discrimination. I am working to become aware of how I myself discriminate and how I might change the way I think and act. I have become aware of the simple ways, for example, as a child, we had of choosing teams. You may remember eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe. Well, it wasn't always tiger that we caught by the toe. And it has come to my attention. I knew it then, but I didn't know exactly why it was so insensitive and racially offensive. I was in doing some research on discrimination. I found an article about sensitivities of racially offensive themes, and it had to do with this eeny, meeny, miny, mo activity. where we would choose our teams by eliminating people as we went around. And this, I'm just going to read, a jocular use of a form of the rhyme by Southwest Airlines flight attendant, encouraging passengers to sit down so the plane could take off, led to a 2003 lawsuit charging the airline with intentional infliction of emotional distress and negligent infliction of emotional distress. The two versions of the rhyme were attested in court, both eeny, meeny, miny, mo, please sit down, it's time to go, and pick a seat, it's time to go. The passengers in question were African American and stated that they were humiliated because of what they called the racist history of the rhyme. A jury returned a verdict in favor of Southwest, and the plaintiff's appeal was denied. But I think it's an interesting circumstance and situation that describes how I have become much more aware of how offensive something can be to my counterparts, to my friends, to my people. The questions in the contemplation have created an unexpected vulnerability as I move through understanding my motives and why I do what I do. How often do I resist change as a way of protecting myself and defending against what makes me vulnerable? In thinking about discrimination, Ty talks about the complexes of superiority, inferiority, and equality. According to the Buddhist understanding, these all create a notion of self. Consider superiority as arrogance. You are beneath me. Or the low self-esteem brought out by the attitude, I am beneath you. Or how about equality? It can become combative when we take on the attitude, I'm the same as you and I'll prove it. Ty says that these discriminatory attitudes create a false notion that deny the concepts of non-self and interbeing. These complexes of superiority, inferiority, and equality reinforce the habit energies of ignorance, hatred, and greed. My Metta meditation helps me move through the trappings of the ego to a more neutral ground of being. I am learning that I cannot change if I don't understand my part in the ongoing suffering that causes violence and perpetuates injustice. And sometimes I just have to step aside, knowing that I'm doing the best I can. This is heavy stuff. By recognizing the narrow interpretations by which society defines what is acceptable as an expression of love is a cause of great suffering for me. The work of this contemplation opens my heart to a willingness to be more open and understanding. Acknowledging the value of others' lived experience demands awareness of who they are, and respect for them and myself has deepened my own capacity for compassionate action. I like that the third contemplation defines true love as bold and tender. This makes me want to practice metta for the greater happiness of myself and others. Reflecting and practicing has reinforced the heart of my desire to awaken to the changing times. So let's talk for a moment about the change we're going through at this time, on the eve of an election, a very consequential moment in our lives. The change I see is a vision of what is possible for the future. There are those who are clinging desperately to the past and foster the subtle and not so subtle messages of separateness and discrimination. And there are those who accept the impermanence of life, people who enjoy the awareness of inner being and relish the experience in the freedom of letting go of old notions and beliefs. I am watering the seeds of hope, forgiveness, and joy. In my email, I asked you to consider the seeds you have watered this past week. For myself, in order to process my feelings during this anxious time, I've been practicing Metta, loving kindness. Watering the seeds of hope, forgiveness, and joy. What is your experience of the third mindfulness training and the third ARISE Contemplation? I'd love to hear your thoughts and your experience. Thank you. So as we know, Dharma sharing is not a crosstalk opportunity. It is sharing from the heart, and it is opening to introducing your experience and your strength and your hope to us all. So please bow in when you wish to speak, and I look forward to hearing from you. Lynn bowing out.